In this chapter, we will cover drawing and snap tools. In ribbon mode, under File, select New Part. You can also select the icon of New Part in the toolbar. This will bring up the drawing space in the Documents window. Once you are ready to draw your part, in the menu bar, go to Drawing, or simply click the right mouse button. From the left, you have the Point tool. The Point tool creates a point on your part that the machine will cut or mark depending on the process you select. You can place the point anywhere in the draw area. You can also type the X and Y coordinates that you want in the command line. There are two ways to do this, either with a space or a comma. You can also use this function with all the draw tools. To exit out of this tool or any tool you have selected, hit the Escape key or hit the right mouse button. The next tool is the Line tool, used to create straight lines. In the command line, you can type specific measurements if needed. This is a good time to bring up Snap Tools. In the Snap Tools bar, if we turn on the Snap tool, Snap to Grid, you will see the selector box only shows up in the intersecting lines of the grid. Click the Snap to Grid tool to turn it off. The next snap tool is the Snap to End Point. This allows the selector box to snap to the end of a drawn line. The next snap tool is the Snap to Middle Point, which allows the selector box to snap to the middle of a drawn line. We'll come back to the snap tools in a bit. In the Line tool dropdown is the Multi-Line tool. This allows you to draw lines consecutively until you right-click or use the Escape key. Also, in the Line tool dropdown is the Scrap Line tool. It is a temporary line that exists until you right-click the mouse or hit the Escape key. Next is the Rectangle tools. The first rectangle tool is used by specifying 2 points, starting with one corner and ending with the opposite corner. The second rectangle tool is used by specifying 2 points starting from the center of the rectangle and choosing one of the corners. The third rectangle tool is like the second, but in the command line it will ask for a length and width. The fourth, fifth, and sixth rectangle tools are like the first 3. But after drawing the rectangle, you can choose a radius in the command line to round the corners. The next draw tools are circle tools. Each one has a specific function. The first circle tool creates a circle using a center point and a point on the grid. We create the center point and then move the mouse to the radius that we want. Or type in the command line where on the grid you want the center point and radius to be. The second circle tool is like the first. You select your center point with the mouse or the command line. Then, using the command line, specify the radius you want. In the command line, we'll type 2 and hit Enter, which gives us a 4-inch circle. The third circle tool is like the first 2, but in the command line, you would enter the diameter you want. The fourth and fifth circle tools use 2 and 3 points. Instead of creating a center point, you'll create a point on each side of the diameter of the circle. The last circle tool uses tangents between lines to create a circle. Select the tool, then in the command line, it will ask you to specify first object and side. Select the line. The command line will then ask you to specify the second object. Select the second line. The command line will ask you to specify the radius of the circle, then hit Enter. This brings us to the rest of the snap tools. The fourth snap tool is Snap to the Center. The selector box will snap to the center of a circle. The next snap tool is Snap to Quadrant. The selector box will snap to the top, bottom, left, or right of a circle. The next tools are Arc tools. The first Arc tool uses 3 points to create an arc. Draw a start point, then a point in the middle of the arc, then the end point. The second and third arc tools are similar. Draw a start point, then a middle point. With the first tool, the command line will ask for an endpoint, while the third tool will ask for an angle. The fourth and fifth arc tools uses 2 points, then in the command line, the fourth tool asks for a radius, while the fifth tool asks for an angle. The next tools are the ellipse tools. The first 2 tools start with the center of the ellipse. The first tool will ask for an angle in the command line, while the second tool will ask for a diameter. The next 2 ellipse tools are like the first, but instead of starting with the center point, you will start with an endpoint of the ellipse and choose either the angle or the diameter. The next tools are the polygon tools. The first is the inscribed polygon tool, where you draw a circle from the radius and in the command line will ask how many sides of the polygon you are creating. The polygon is then created inside the circle. The second is the circumscribed polygon tool, where you draw a circle from the radius and in the command line will ask how many sides to the polygon you are creating. The polygon is then created outside of the circle. The last draw tool is the text tool. With the text tool, select a spot in the draw area. The text window will appear where you can enter your text. In the text window, you can also choose the text type and font. After hitting OK, you can choose the height of your text or type it in the command line. Then choose the angle or type it in the command line. To select any of the objects or lines you have created, go to the Select tool in the upper left corner, or it will automatically revert to the Select tool if no other tools are turned on. As you can see, when holding down the left mouse button, we create a box. If you move the mouse to the right, it makes a blue box. This will select any line or object that fits within the box. If you move the mouse to the left, it makes a green box. This will select any line or object that touches the selection box. Let's look at the remaining snap tools. First is Snap to Tangent. The Snap to Tangent tool helps you precisely align or position points, lines, or objects along a tangent to an arc or a circle. The Snap to Tangent tool is used to ensure that 2 entities, such as a line or arc, are positioned so that one touches the other exactly at a single point, maintaining a smooth transition. The next snap tool is the Snap to Perpendicular. It allows you to automatically align or constrain an object to be perpendicular to another object at a 90-degree angle. Next is Snap to Intersection. This allows you to snap to wherever 2 lines or objects intersect. Next is Snap to Nearest. This allows you to snap to anywhere on a line or object. Next is Snap to Ortho. This allows you to draw straight lines in 90 degrees. The last snap tool is Snap Release. This is a quick way to toggle on and off all the snap tools you have selected. Keep in mind, you can use any combination of these snap tools at any time during the drawing process to help create your part. If you have any questions, contact our Applications Department for prompt service, 262-532-4689.